This is happening now in custom in my area in estate. Custom office being burnt and people moving rice. This is what a peaceful protest has turned into another thing. This is happening in my area now.
Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing it 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. And salutation to you, Akimat, that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity. You know, this is your brother about one. I'm going to go into some of the things that's still going on in Nigeria up till now, you know. And this is how you know that this spirit of prophecy is moving upon the whole earth, because it went from protests, and now what we have is riots and lootings and burning of all these various government buildings. All right, so this is an article going into that. Protests, one dead as hoodlum loots COVID-19 food items in Edo warehouse. So this is going on everywhere, not just in one place, not just in one state in Nigeria. It's going on everywhere. It happened in Abuja, it happened in Jos, it happened in Benin. I think it happened in Calabar too. Alright, so these things now, all these things, allow me to be a little proud here, just to flex or to toot my horn a little bit. But all these things are happening because our people have no more covering. All right, when I talk about our people, I'm speaking about the Israelites scattered in Nigeria. This lesson is for you Israelites that are here, you Nigerian Israelites, because I know they are listening to this. They watch these videos too. All right, this word is out there, and there's no more excuse for your wickedness. There is no more reason not to be judged. You know what the scripture says? If the Son of Man had not come, they would not have any sin. But since the Son of Man has come, now they have no cloak for their sin. And you have heard the testimony of Yahushai, the spirit of prophecy, as is spoken of in the book of Revelation 19. So now there is no more covering for your sins. Your sins are out there, and you can be judged. You can get that judgment. You can get it anytime, anyhow. Well, that's how the Most High is planning on setting it up. That's why you are seeing all these things happening. That's why it feels like all hell is breaking loose, not just in Nigeria but all over the earth, because this word has gone out. Okay, and that's why all you people are fed up. This isn't because of no Sorosuke generation, or because my generation is smarter than no agree, or because my generation is the one that fought against corruption. That's not why all these things are happening. It is the spirit of Yahweh that has caused you to rebel against the government, that has caused you to do all these protests, all these riots and all these lootings, because we have already been over this. My past 3 videos I've gone over this, they're bringing out the same thing. And it's the Most High that decides our fate, that decides what we will do upon the earth, and nothing happens on the earth without Yahweh giving the go ahead. Alright, so first of all, let me go to the book of Job. Let me see whether I can go to that real quick. Job 33, just to bring that out. So this is the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 14, and it reads, For God speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. Alright, and these Christians, they are proud in their conceit, believing that not just these Christians, but also anybody in the world, all you carnal people, you are proud in your conceit, believing that you are the one that makes your decisions, you're the ones that choose what you do, but you have no choice, you have no ability to choose, because it is Yahweh that puts everything in your spirit. This is a day-to-day thing. From day to day, all your decisions that you will ever make has already been made for you by Yahweh. As the scripture says that your steps are ordered by the Most High. All you are doing right now is fulfilling prophecy. This wouldn't have happened 10 or 20 years ago. This wouldn't have happened before the YouTube era, because all these things are happening because this word has gone out. Because the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has left, Babylon the Great, where it originated, and has gone throughout the four corners of the earth. That's why you see these protests, this violence, and all this. So let me go to the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15. Because that's the scripture that we're going to use today. Because that's the one that is being brought out. That's the prophecy that is being brought out, or that is being fulfilled constantly all over the earth. So this is the book of Second, and this and Revelation chapter 13. So this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 15. Start at verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's why you see all these riots and protests and lootings. Like I said before, 10 to 20 years ago, this would have not happened. Nobody will be cussing out their lead, the president, like the way they are cussing out Buhari right now. Nobody would dare to break into a government warehouse and start stealing and looting things. Even the soldiers could not stop them. The soldiers are the soldiers had to even join them, because of the famine that the Most High has put upon this land. And all praises on and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Let me just quickly get this precept, because the Most High said, "My servant shall eat." Let me go to that. Because they're talking about how nobody received palliatives and all that. So let me just quickly get that. Alright, so the book of Isaiah chapter 65 verse 13. Therefore thus saith Yahweh of power, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And during all these things that happened here in Nigeria, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has kept me 100%, Alright, I didn't have to worry about any palliatives. I didn't even notice that the government didn't even give the people, the relief package for COVID-19 that they promised to give, because ironically, I already got relief, basically COVID-19 relief packages, and that was from, basically private Nigerians that were donating from their own pockets to do that. So I didn't even think about what was inside those government storehouses. And this is all Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. This is all His Spirit. Then He says that He would feed His servants. When He said that He would take care of us, this is what He meant. Things like this, that just to build up our faith in the Most High, in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Alright, so I just realized that I didn't actually read the article, so let me just quickly jump to it and read a little bit. Of course, we know that the article doesn't matter, but I still have to read it anyway since I brought it out. Alright, so this is the title of the article: Protests. One dead as hoodlums loot COVID-19 food items in Edo warehouse. And it reads, hoodlums in Benin City on Saturday stormed the government warehouse along Medical Store Road, Uselu axis of the Edo State capital, and looted COVID-19 palliative items stored in the warehouse. The mob, which had earlier in the morning been prevented by military personnel from carrying out the act, succeeded in breaking the human shield mounted by the military and entered the store in their hundreds. And this kind of things wouldn't have happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, like I said before the YouTube generation. Because the Most High is bringing out these prophecies, making it manifest upon the earth before our eyes, to strengthen our faith and to make us know that He's fulfilling all these things at its time. As Scripture says that what He will do, that's in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. So I can only go to that. To try to remember the exact precepts. So I'm just going to get to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. So let me hold on. Let me try and see if I can type it on the letter. I mean the search bar sack here. So much of the bullet in my mind. Here it is. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 46 verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High and there is none else. I am the Most High and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. Alright, and this is what the Most High has put in the book of, in the mouth of the prophet Ezra to prophesy. And right now it is happening. Over 3,000 years after this, he actually made that prophecy. So you see that the Most High has already called all these things before it happened. That's why we go into prophecy so much, because this is the only book. This Bible is the only book of prophecy in existence. So let me go back to that article. Let me just read a little bit more. Okay. Then you have to bear with me for reading this article. So for going back into this article, but you have to get it. You have to go into it and read a little bit of it, because we actually put it up. All right. I continue. A man allegedly died while attempting to escape from the warehouse with his loot, and that's that judgment right there. That's the judgment that the Most High had put for him. He set him up to die in that exact moment. The man, it was learnt, allegedly gained access to the COVID-19 palliative warehouse through the back opening created by looters on the roof at the back of the warehouse. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there. Let's go back into the scriptures. Because that's our bread and butter. That's what we are focused on. Filtering all the things that are happening on the earth through the scriptures. Because what does the Bible say? That the scriptures have testified of them. Because that's what it means to prophesy, to see before. And the Bible and the scriptures have already warned us of all these things. So I continue from 2 Esdras chapter 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And now, almost all the major cities in Lagos are on in Nigeria are on lockdown. Abuja, Lagos, I think Calabar is also on lockdown. I'm not really sure, so don't quote me on that. You have cities on lockdown, no movements, no markets open, no banks even working. The whole 9 yards. That's what is going on right now. This and the second lockdown is about to be the second global lockdown. It's about to be be set up throughout the whole earth, because you already have other cities all over the earth starting to lock down again. Israel, like for example, the nation of Israel now, it was never even open. Their lockdown has gotten even tighter. Probably the tightest lockdown currently. And all these other, and that's basically. Let me just continue from verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And now you have damage of public property, roads, buildings, vehicles, all literally on fire because of the pride of the government. Alright, and that pride is clearly shown by the president of our nation, President Muhammad Buhari. During his address, because he actually addressed the people during this time of during the time of the protest, he actually addressed our people to talk about his point of view on it, and basically what he said, there leaves a lot to be desired. Right, so and this time of trouble, it's not even over, because it's still going to keep on getting worse and worse. There's still martial law, there's still the RFID microchip, there are still the chariots, there's still the nuclear missile, there's still the lake of fire, there's still all these things that can still go on, that can still go wrong. Alright, before you can say that it is truly over. Or when it will be over is when this whole earth is destroyed, when there is nothing left. What does the scripture say? The earth shall be melted with the earth and the elements shall be melted with fervent heat. So that tells you exactly what is going to happen upon the earth. That tells you exactly how bad it can get. That is the level where you can say that okay, it can't get any worse. When the whole earth is burned to cinders, I should say that when the surface of the earth is burnt to cinders, they burn to dust. That's when you know that okay, it can't get any worse. So that should show you. So that should tell you exactly how bad it can get. Alright, so the book of Amos. So let me go to the book of Amos. It's like I already said this is the book of Amos. So let me go to the book of Amos 5 verse 18, and it reads, "Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it." So these times are going to get really, really dark. When you talk about when something gets in dark, you're talking about in the entertainment industry, in movies and in music, when they talk about gory, graphic, real shit, people getting their heads blown off, all kinds of dismemberment of body parts and all kinds of horrible, terrifying things happening to people. And that's what the day of Yahweh Yahushai will be like. That is what the times that are coming, the times from now until Yahushai comes back will be like. It will be very, very dark, That's why the scripture says that people will look out the windows and it will be darkened because the future. And let me see if I can go and get that. Because even these carnal people are out here, especially the carnal jakes, they already see that the future, there's nothing that there is nothing in the future, that the future is that the future can't get any better from here, and it's constantly going to go down the drain until it completely sinks into it, completely gets sucked in and falls into suck away. Alright, so the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Alright, so there'll be nothing out there, no future, everything will be bleak, no work, and the grinders ceasing, no work. Right, the strong men bowing themselves, when you see all these powerful Edomite nations being forced to bend the knee, when they are basically being shut down, they are basically being shut down. That people are suffering under martial law, under famine, under all plagues, under all kinds of hell. And then you think, and then you as a third world nation, now thinking, what we possibly do, that we can do nothing, that this will come to us even at a more severe and higher rate. That's the kind of things that would be the average interpretation, just for you people, you Jakes in Nigeria, to understand. Alright, and I'm going to end it there. I didn't plan to talk very long on this. Just wanted to bring out a little of the news article, a little information, just to show that the judgment of Yahweh Shai in Nigeria is still escalating, because that's all this is. It's all judgment. I just coming at you to tell you how much worse it can get. Because don't think that this is as bad as it gets. Don't think that this is what that this is how bad it's going to get, because it can get much worse. Alright, so with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash, Wa Abad Babal. Shalom.